welcome back to Frailing at Life with me, Banjo Jen. It's been a long time since I posted an actual tutorial on here, but if you saw my video last week, I'm back from the dead as such, and I'm going to try and post a few more beginner tutorials on the channel over the next few weeks and months. YouTube gave me a bit of an ultimatum to get my arse in gear and kind of not let the channel die off and yeah, post some more content. Which I didn't really intend to do. It was always a sort of COVID lockdown pandemic sort of project, but I do enjoy it and I know you guys enjoy it as well. So we're going to do a nice little song today to get us back into the groove. So if any of you have stumbled on this for the first time, this is a beginner's clawhammer frailing channel. If you are starting right from scratch, you'd be best off looking at the tutorials that I did a few years back in COVID. There's 17 videos that go right through stuff from scratch. So right from day one, and it'll get you going with lots of different sort of techniques and stuff within the style. So yeah, do that if you're right at the beginner stage. But for those of you that are kind of good with playing along and you've got the frailing strummed down, we're going to do Worried Man Blues, old classic, lots of versions with people like Johnny Cash and Pete Seeger and Carter Family. Really great old song. Even though it's called Worried Man Blues, it's actually quite happy sounding and upbeat, and I thought it would be a nice one to sort of get us back going. So we're gonna stick in the standard G tuning, so you just want your banjo in open G. And quick recap, obviously this is kind of the clawhammer frailing style, so it's strike, strum, thumb, strike, strum, thumb, sort of 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I prefer to count just 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... My brain works better like that. But yeah, that bum ditty strum, this hand is just still the machine hand, just doing its thing. This hand is going to play some chords, and you can throw in some fiddly bits if you like. What I'll probably do is at the end I'll go through some extras that you can put in, but to get us cracking we'll just sort of start playing, and you can play along and sing along as well, because it's a song. That's what I use banjo for mostly, is to sort of sing songs with rather than tunes. And even if you're not a singer, it's really good to just sing at home. You don't have to do it in front of anyone, but you know, gets those endorphins flowing. It cheers us up, and it also trains your ear really well because you're sort of listening to chord changes and progressions and stuff. So Worried Man Blues might often be done in like G or capoed and done in A. Both of those keys are a little bit low for me to sing, so I do it in C. And I thought that's also good practice because it means we've then got to play the F chord, which is not an easy chord to grab. So we're going to do the C, we're going to do the F, we're going to do the open G, and back to C. Okay, so I'll just sing a sort of chorus through, so we know where we're at. It takes a worried man, this is in C, to sing a worried song to the F. It takes a worried man to sing a worried, back to the C. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song, goes to the G. Worried now, won't be worried long, back to the C. Okay, that's all it is. That little kind of extra note when you're in the G, sort of finishing off the phrase, is just like a hammer-on a pull-off. If you sort of fret that second fret with your first string, it's just like a little pull-off before you go back to your C to sort of resolve the verse or the chorus. But that's the basic pattern. So what I want you to do is just kind of play along. C, F and G, that's all it is. And if you want to put some fiddly bits in, you can, but we'll go through at the end kind of what I would do to sort of jazz it up a little bit. Okay, so are we ready? Let's go for it. There's a zillion verses. We'll not do like too many, but we'll have a nice sing through. Okay. Ready? It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, won't be worried long. Went across the river and I lay down to sleep. Oh, I went across that river and lay me down to sleep. I went across the river and I lay down to sleep. When I woke up, got shackles on my feet. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, I won't be worried long. That train that I ride, 16 coaches long. Oh, that train that I ride is 16 coaches long. That train that I ride, 16 coaches long. And the girl I love is on that train gone. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, won't be worried long. Instrumental. F, C, C, stay at C, to the G, harmony. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, won't be worried long. Vamping. I ask that judge, what's gonna be my time? Oh, I ask that judge, what's gonna be my time? I asked that judge, hey judge, what's gonna be my time? He said 21 years on the Rocky Mountain line. Last time. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, won't be worried long. Yeah, I'm worried now, but I won't be worried long. There we go, Worried Man Blues. Oh, I need a drink now. On the water tonight rather than the beer. Ah, well, that was fun, wasn't it? So it's a great old song to play along to. So in terms of maybe utilising some of those extra skills that we have covered in the past, you've got some kind of hammer-ons and pull-offs that you can do in that one. But the joy of like some of these old songs or just simple songs is that you don't have to do anything fancy and you've got a song. 3 chords, not even 3 really, because we're cheating on a banjo. We've got a G without having to do anything. So it's like 2 chords really, 2 chords and an extra, like a bonus. So, you know, you just got your C, your F and your G, and you've got a whole song that you can throw out at a party when you've had a few. You know, get everyone singing along or whatever, doing some harmonies and things. So that's the joy of like this style really, because it can be used as a sort of you know, sort of more rhythmic backing for songs. If you're into that sort of thing, I know some people just want to, you know, play tune. I call them the plinky plonky tunes, picking out all the notes. That's cool. But you know, if you want to just get in the groove, have a beer, be able to strum along in time. You know a few chords, you know, you can play a load of songs basically. So what I would do to just jazz that up a little bit, where we've got the C, if you want to kind of try to pick out melody notes, takes a worried man, you could start just on that 2nd string in your C chord, takes a worried man. And then because it goes sing a worried song, well, one of the lines, obviously there's loads of harmonies you can do, but takes a worried man, I go up to I do like a little hammer-on that 1st string and then a pull-off. So I strike it do a strike and a hammer on, and then a strike and a pull off. So it's kind of like, takes a worried man to sing a worried song, sing a worried song, back to the second string. So that's just a little extra, like if you want it to sound like the melody. So on the second string first, takes a worried man, then that little hammer on to sing, and then a strike and pull off, worried song. And when we're doing like that hammer on or the pull off, you know, this hand is still just doing its rhythm, but you sort of putting in that extra eighth note by hammering on and pulling off sort of on the in-betweens, the sort of like really quick bits. Sing a worried song, oh it, then go to the F chord, takes a worried man to sing a worried, and you can do a few bits there in your F. You know, that sort of second string again will be holding the kind of melody, but you can do a quick sort of pull off with your little finger, not that easy, but that'll give you a bit of that melody. It's a worried man to singer, that's your sound, you pull that off. And I'd like do a little hammer on with my middle finger on that sort of third string in your F shape before you go back to your C. So these are just all little kind of pull-offs, hammer-ons that are going to make it sound a bit cooler. You don't have to put them in, but if you want in those extra flourishes you can. There's a worried man to sing a worried song, and then I would just sort of do a little fill in up to the first string in that C, and then you're back to the beginning. But rather than maybe keeping it all on the second string, second time round in the C, it's quite nice to do a little hammer on that third string, so open, and then hammer your third finger down, middle finger, sorry, on that third string, back into the C. Takes a worried man, and then I do that little hammer on pull off thing on the first string again. Worried song, I'm worried. Then when you go to the G, now your finger is on that first string second fret in your C chord, so you can pull that off your little ring finger, pull it off that second fret, you'll get that nice melody note. Now, and then fret it again, but stay open, you're still in G, so you don't have to put any other strings down. Won't be, and then when you hit it again, pull it off, worried, and then back to the C, long on the second note, give you your melody, second string, give you your melody again. Okay, so I'm worried now, won't be worried long. So that's like a nice little sort of like selection of hammer-ons, pull-offs, etc. that are going to just give those extra little flourishes, make it sound kind of cool. You don't have to do them, like I say, but you've got the options there. Takes a worried man, sing a worried song. Oh, it takes a worried man to sing a worried song. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. You know, sometimes you might go into more of a, just like what the sort of called vamping, where you're still kind of doing the rhythm, but you're not sort of doing the really obvious one and the two and the three and the, you know, you don't have to worry about that drone string so much. Yeah, so sometimes when you're singing, it's quite nice not to put all the fiddly bits in and to just kind of do that rhythmic sort of, it's the same rhythm, but you're just not sort of being as kind of precise with that, you know, sort of complete Frailing strum. Don't worry too much about the sort of thumb catching the drone. It's a bit more of a, you know, you could still think of it as but that last bit, it's more of a there's like a bit, do you see what I mean? There's a little bit of a sort of like feel to it where you're just kind of hinting at that sort of rhythm, but you're not kind of really religiously sort of getting all the string sounds in there, and that can be nice to sort of back up your singing, just as a sort of little vamping kind of thing. So hopefully that gives you some bits to play around with, and then yeah, just play along to what we did before, to the whole song, and see if you can put some of those bits in. In terms of transposing a song, so like I say, I've played that in C because I find C, with my sort of female voice, I've got, I guess, a probably mid-range female voice, I'd say. I'm not too low, but I can't get the sort of soprano notes. I'm certainly not any kind of high singer. So I'd say I'm kind of mid to low in the female range. But for me, the key of C works quite well a lot of the time in quite a lot of songs. Quite a lot of my own songs that I write are around sort of that key sometimes. So yeah, so for me, it's better to sing it in that key. However, if you're singing with a male voice or a different, you know, everybody's different, aren't they? Whatever gender you are. But, you know, it's everyone's got like their sort of range. So you might want to transpose a song. And transpose just means like move the key, so that you're playing it in a different key, which will sit better for your voice. Or it might be because you're playing with other musicians. So funnily enough, I've just come from a session tonight, an old time session here in Sheffield in the UK. So yeah, it's quite bizarre, isn't it? But yeah, lots of people around who love the old American tunes. So you might, if other people know it in a certain key that's not what you would usually play it in for yourself, then you might need to sort of transpose it so that you can play along with other people. And so one of the ways to do that, if you go back actually and look at, I think it was like the third lesson in the very beginning tutorials that I did right at the start, sort of banjo lesson 1, 2, 3, right up to Cripple Creek, I think was number 7. Around number 3, I think, we did like that idea of songs just with the 3 chords. So just like this one, Worried Man Blues, you could do, you know, quite a few things. This Land Is Your Land, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, all those kind of old standards. They'll often just roll around those, you know, 3 chords, and it's called like the 1, 4, 5 usually when they use those 3 chords. And so with C, if you're in the key of C, you know that with those sort of standard tunes, the likelihood is the other 2 chords will be an F and a G. It's not always the case, but if it's following that 1, 4, 5 pattern, so you start with your root note, which is a C, and if you imagine like your piano keys, and you count sort of up 4 full sort of notes in the scale, or 5, that will give you the chords that are going to work well with that root chord. So in a C scale, F is the 4th and G is the 5th. So C, F and G, if you're playing in the key of C, these sort of old songs will probably follow that pattern, C, F and G. If you want to move that and play in G, you're starting with G as your root note, and if you were to count up like 4 full sort of steps, then C would be your 4th and D would be your 5th. So the 3 chords that go together in the G key are often G, C and D. So we've just played Worried Man with C, F, G. If you wanted to move it, you would be able to go G, and because you know that G is your sort of root, you know that the other 2 chords are going to be a C and a D. So it'll be a bit low for me, but I'll show you. So you could start with G. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Then you go to your C. It takes a worried man to sing a worried, back to G. It takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Go to D. Worried now, won't be worried long. obviously it's too low for me, but for your voice that might suit you better, so you could do that. And obviously if you're in G, again you can put fiddly bits in. You could do some slides if you were in G, because when you've got your open strings in a G, you know, if we're in open G and you're playing a G chord for a while, you can slide about on the strings to your good little G spots. So sliding about on that bass string, like up to your fifth, and then that third string, you know, between your 2 and your 4, like we do in Cripple Creek. It's a common one. You know, takes a worried man to sing a worried song. Oh, it takes a worried man, sing a worried song. Yeah, you could do a few like hammer-ons again while you're in your C. Takes a worried man to sing a worried song. I'm worried now, GD, won't be, won't long. Yeah, I've not really worked out the sort of extras in that key, but you can definitely do your D and then lift it sort of up for that little walk down at the end. So that's basically, I'm not going to sort of like go through it all in the G key, but that's sort of how you'd move a tune. So if it's one of these easy sort of old standards where there's mainly 3 chords, you can move everything along accordingly. It does help obviously if you know scales. If you don't know scales in terms of what the 4th and 5th note would be, that's probably a bit trickier. But you know what, there's a zillion online chord sheets you can download for free, which will go and give you a table of how you transpose things, and they're super handy because you can just look along, and if you want to go from G to C or vice versa or whatever, you can move along the table and it'll tell you exactly kind of what chords you need to move it up a couple of keys or whatever. So use one of those and just get to the place where it's comfortable for you, and then you'll be able to, you know, sing it where you're comfortable, and then you'll enjoy it more, you know, because that's the thing, if you're playing a nice song, you want to be able to sing it comfortably in the key that your voice kind of suits better. So I think that's enough for tonight because I'm quite tired, but I hope that's a nice fun little one to sort of get you going, put those little extras in, and yeah, I will see you again soon. Please give us a like and a subscribe and all that gubbins. Yeah, whatever. I'm just hopeful that, yeah, YouTube kind of keeps this, keeps it going, and I will try and put some more up soon. But I'd like to look at some minor chords in the not too distant future, and sort of sawmill tuning, like modal tuning, because those are really cool, and that's right up my street. So yeah, we'll maybe look at those at some point soon. But yeah, happy frailing, keep frailing at life. All right, cheers folks, see you soon.